Hey creative, so let's jump into 7 tips that will help you get out of your own head and just start creating. Listen, because I did not become a professional artist overnight, okay? It took some years to get to this place, and it still takes many more years to go as you continue to grow and evolve as a fine artist. Tip number 1 is ridding of fear. Get rid of that fear that is causing you to be stuck and stagnant. Think of fear being that wall and your gift being that tool. Whether it's a hammer, a bulldozer, whatever it's going to take to knock that wall down, it is time to tell fear to move around, push through those obstacles, push through whatever is trying to block you from believing in yourself, push through all the naysayers, push through all the thoughts that try to come against your vision, whatever is placed inside of you. It is bound to come out. It has to come out. That's the only way that you'll fully embrace what God has placed within you. Like those treasures, those gems that are stored deep within, they are meant to come out and be expelled so other people can enjoy it. I think that's what makes us so uncomfortable when we're not fully walking into our purpose, which can refer to your gift of creating, your gift of singing, your gift of dancing, writing, whatever it is that deep down is a part of you, but you're not really watering that seed because you're allowing this fear to get in your way. And again, it is time to tell fear to move around because, babe, you're not about to stop me from my purpose. Fear will try to convince you to not start. If you allow fear to be your voice, continuing to tell you what to do and how to play it safe, you'll never know what your fullest potential is because you're leaning into your fears more than leaning into what you're really supposed to be doing. And it's going to require you to rid of that fear so that you can walk in confidence with your work. You can build a characteristic that nothing will be able to shake that foundation because you've already faced fear and you've already knocked it down. So, which leads to our next tip. Confidence comes with consistency. You won't get better until you continue to keep at it. If someone's telling you, oh, you're not good enough, okay, well, I still got to keep going so I can get good. I still have to be consistent so I can get better. They go through the apprentice stage just to get to the mastery stage. It's not like they got handed a paintbrush or a microphone or a pair of shoes and just started to do what they did at their best. No, they practice at it. They train. Tell your haters they wasn't what you shooting in the gym, okay? If anything, let that just be fuel to your fire to keep going. Never in a million years would I have thought that my talent that God has entrusted me with would allow such a, man. Just thinking about it, I'm just looking at the course of my life and I'm just like, wow, the little girl that used to draw now has a full-time artistry business and going through the ups and the downs, going through the lows and the highs. I still cannot put that paintbrush down. Like, I have to be consistent because it is a part of me. It's innate in me and I have to keep at it. If I don't keep at it, then I'm either sad or I'm depressed. Like, it's just a part of me. It's my second nature. So even when I don't feel like it, I have to remain consistent because that helps with some sense of motivation. That helps with some sense of discipline. So don't push yourself to the sense of burnout, but you do have to create a routine of yourself to be consistent enough. How bad do you really want it? And if you want it bad enough, knowing that practice makes perfect. So you have to continue to tell yourself, like, if I keep at this thing, I will continue to get better. I will continue to outdo myself. Not outdoing anybody else, but outdoing the last thing that I did. And that just shows where your growth lies, and it shows that you are blooming. With consistency creates that momentum, it creates that discipline, it opens up the door to a more structured way of operating. I have a weekly planner and I also have a priority and goals board that keeps me accountable, and I've been using this for years. That has helped me through what I need to tackle within that month, 2 months, 3 months, however much you need to give yourself to know that you can complete these goals within a tangible amount of time. Nobody's gonna want it more than you want it. If they see that you don't want it as bad, what makes you think that they're gonna want your work, your paintings, your songs, whatever it is, just as bad? You have to want it first. And when you want it first, let me tell you, everybody else is going to fall in line. Creating that consistency is going to create a snowball effect for yourself. You will continue to see yourself progress, continue to see yourself grow. And from there, it goes from the runway to the air. From there, you flying by now. So I just suggest starting rather than being stuck. How are you ever going to get to the end of your destiny if you don't take that first step? Because consistency coincides with confidence, this leads into our next tip: killing comparison. Stay in your lane. Okay, stay in your lane. Don't look over there to the side, figuring out what they're doing and what they're driving, or seeing, oh my gosh, they're going faster than I am. They're more talented than I am. They are more popular than I am. You looking to the left and the right, and next thing you know, you're crashing your own car. Stay in your lane and focus on yourself. Have that tunnel vision, because that is what's going to get you to your destiny. Everybody on the highway is not going to the same destination. That is why your destination is for you, your destiny. If you got to do a pit stop and look at the trees, enjoy the journey, look out the window and enjoy it for what it is. But if you take so much time looking at everybody else and what they're doing, you are literally extracting time from yourself to get better. Especially when other supporters started to compare me with other artists, like, oh, you know, your work is similar to such and such, or oh, you know, y'all are the best in the game, like y'all do things similarly. It started to cloud my own judgment of my own creativity, and I'm like, I get it. Like, maybe it is giving Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin, but Aretha sing different than Whitney, and they certain pitches don't hit the same. Like, why do I have to be compared to somebody else? So again, I think all that clouded my judgment on really honing in and figuring out what my style was, or figuring out what best worked for me, because I was too busy paying attention to why are they comparing me to this person and what makes me feel like I'm in the same arena as this person, or so forth. Like, it's a big distraction. What is for you is for you, okay? Yes, you can be inspired. Yes, you can have people as an example, but do not allow that to cloud your judgment on what it is that only you can do. Only uniquely you can do. I understand the industry is saturated. It's always going to be saturated with something, but guess what? Somebody may enjoy hearing my voice versus the next person's voice. Somebody may not enjoy hearing my voice, and someone talking about the same topic, it might speak to them. So everybody has their flavor. Everybody has their ice cream. It's just who gonna pick you to be the best artist that your work can be in their home? Who's gonna pick you to be the best singer to sing at their wedding? Who's gonna pick you to be the best dancer to be a part of their music video? Who's gonna pick you to be the best videographer to shoot their content? Like, listen, don't let the saturated industry take you away from what you are being called to do. Just start doing it, and I promise you it will make room for itself. So this leads to the next tip of staying inspired. As a creative being, I understand we are some sensitive individuals. We are some sensitive creatures, okay? God is the creator of all. And so when he created us, he has made us in his image and his likeness. So we are built to recreate, no matter whether it's artistically, architecturally, if I even said that right. You know what I mean. We are built to make things happen. And you just have to ask yourself what it is that makes things happen for you. And what is it that fills your creative love tank? So staying inspired for me looks like getting out the house and being a part of nature, surrounding myself with other creative energy and atmospheres, whether that's listening to a live jazz band, or going to the beach and digging my toes in the sand, or going to the art museum and studying some of the greats. Like, these are things that feed my creative love tank. So you have to position yourselves on what it is that gets you inspired, that gets you going, that puts the logs on your fire, so that you can continue to create amazing things. Try new things. Like, I've always wanted to do a pottery class, something that is just going to keep those creative juices flowing. I understand everybody can't travel like they used to, because the plane tickets is getting a little pricey, but vacationing, even if it's a staycation, like getting outside of your normal environment and placing yourself in a new environment will help jog some new ideas. Yeah, just try new things, try new mediums. So that gets into the next tip, which is educating yourself. If you don't like to read, then do an audiobook. If you don't like to do an audiobook, then do a visual storytelling book. I don't know. I just know you need to continue to grow yourself mentally, expand yourself, challenge yourself, stretch yourself. I think once people get out of school, kind of like, okay, I don't have to pick up a book anymore, or I don't have to learn any more than what I already know. No, continue to learn. Like, our brain is endless. We only use 10% of our brain, but our brain is endless. And so to feed more of knowledge to your brain, like, it just helps you become more eloquent. It helps you to carry yourself differently. It helps you to observe the world differently. It opens your eyes to so much more when you retain more information that you didn't before. Like, you just carry yourself differently, you know? You just walk into the room knowing who you are, because you know a little something about a little something else. And whatever it is that you feel comes natural to you in your field, even though you have the natural state of it, apply the logical state of it. So when it does come time for you to coach somebody, you have the natural, you know, the effortless state, but also have the informative state as to why that takes place. So why am I using these mediums together? What makes this brush stroke flow seamlessly onto this canvas? Where did artwork stem from? Whatever it is. I'm referring to art because that's just what I do. But you can apply this to whatever it is that you do that you're creatively inclined in. So you want to take courses and classes. I think the most that I've invested into a course was $11,000. Let me tell you. And I felt like I was the youngest person in the room. The language that they were using was so foreign to me. I backed out for a second. But after 2 or 3 years coming back to those courses, it made sense. Everything that they were saying could have improved my business, could have improved my teaching skills and my coaching skills to the 10th degree, but I think I bit off more than I could chew. So take on courses or classes where you're transitioning out of that novice stage into the intermediate stage. And if you're transitioning out of that intermediate stage into that mastery stage, you just want to find a course or a class that complements that sweet middle spot, so that it doesn't seem like it's too far-fetched. Because when you retain too much information where it's not clicking, then you get overwhelmed and then you just want to quit altogether. Yeah, when it just comes to educating yourself, you want to make sure that you are becoming a master of your craft and making sure that you're giving honest and intentional value to whoever you want to teach when that time comes for yourself. Next tip is constructive love. Now, remember how I told y'all, we sensitive about art? You know, it's okay to have constructive love. We may take things to heart because it is our babies that we're pouring into at the end of the day, and we're sharing it with the world. So any type of critiquing or constructive love may come off as bullets and may come off as fiery arrows. It could be a helping suggestion. It could be something that could really improve you to get to that next level. So critiques can be helpful. When I first started as an artist, I felt like, you know, my style is my style. This is how I do it. I remember somebody commented on my anatomy being off, and I was like, my anatomy ain't off. That's how it was supposed to be. And then next thing you know, I find myself in Barnes and Nobles buying the anatomy book. I still have the anatomy book. Because of that, I took it to heart for a second. But I was like, girl, listen, I'm gonna prove them wrong. I'm gonna step my game up. And so I end up getting a Figure It Out book as well as an Anatomy for Artists book. So I actually enjoy it. It helps me to have more accuracy with my elements. And again, I think I would have been okay with being in that place of comfort because my excuse was not wanting to be stretched, or that's just how it is, that's just how I do it. It's like, no, like if you want to get better, sometimes that feedback could really help be that stepping stone to making you better as a creative. So my saying is to just receive it as feedback and not consume it as failure. Let me say that again. Receive it as feedback, but do not consume it as failure. I get some nasty people are out there, you know, they just be throwing rocks just to throw it and hide their hands afterwards. But you could tell people really mean well, but they're just giving their own suggestions. I say, you know, don't do away with it completely, but maybe consider it if that's something that could really help improve you as a creative. And then the last tip, celebrate your progression. Celebrate the wins. Celebrate the L's. Celebrate it all. Cause ain't nobody gonna root you on like you root you on. Ain't nobody gonna put me on like I put myself on. So I might get on your nerves posting all my artwork. Hey, check me out, check me out, check me out. That's only because I believe in myself. That's because I believe in the vision that God has given me. That's because I believe that the work that has been placed in my heart to get out onto canvas is going to help somebody else, is going to bring joy to somebody else, is going to resonate with someone else. And start encouraging yourself, start speaking life over yourself, saying that you can do it. You know, even with the lessons learned, because I say they're not L's, they're lessons. Like, those lessons are improving and growing you as a person. No one's saying be arrogant, but be confident. Be confident in being creative. And so ending it on that note, always have gratitude. Be gracious with yourself and know that as long as you continue, you will come out on top. Don't be like where the three men get different talents and the one ends up burying it under the ground and squandering it and not multiplying it because he felt like that was the safest way. Wish it coulda, woulda. 3 years passed, 10 years passed. Now you look up, 30 years have passed. It's never too late. It's never too late to start. Just start, because that's what we're meant to do. I hope this video has helped you. If there's anything else you want me to touch base on, please drop it in the comments below and I will be sure to take it into consideration for the next videos. Thank y'all so much and love y'all.